Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Perspective. My name is Rohit Watts, and in this episode of The Perspective, we will uncover the mystery of the underground facility which was hit at the Pakistan Air Force Base Murid on 10th May 2025 by the Indian Air Force. On 22nd April 2025, Pakistani backed Muslim terrorists massacred 26 Hindu tourists in Pahalgam, Kashmir. The nation was devastated by this cowardly and heinous act and wanted Pakistan to be punished and revenge taken. In retaliation to this massacre, India launched Operation Sindhoor. Starting from intervening night of May 6 and 7 until early morning of May 10, the Indian Air Force struck terrorist infrastructure and Pakistan Air Force assets across the length and breadth of Pakistan. Two targets were hit at the Pakistan Air Force Base Murid. One was a command and control node in the center of the airbase, while other was an unknown underground facility towards southeast corner of the airbase. Now let's look at the underground facility area. First thing that you will notice is the location of this facility. The airbase has a lot of empty areas, but the underground facility has come up in the southeast corner of the airfield in an area away from the main airbase infrastructure. This is the image of the underground facility from mid 2024. You can also see the taxiway, main runway, and the perimeter wall of the Air Force Base. So, how do we know that this is an important and an underground site? First, the double fence around the facility followed with their own watchtowers. Then, you have the double access gate at the entrance with its own guard room. And mind you, the airbase has its own highly secure perimeter wall. So, you have a secured site within an already highly secure airbase, which means this is some high value access restricted area. If we zoom further, we see signs which make it an underground facility. First, we have two hardened underground access points. The one towards the north is elongated in nature, while the one towards the south has a large garage like access. Then you have shafts which most probably provide air to the underground facility. Before I answer as to what is situated under the PAF base Murid, let me answer two other equally important questions. Is this facility located exclusively at Pakistan Air Force Base Murid? And secondly, when did this facility come up at the base? My study of infrastructure across all the Pakistan Air Force air bases shows the presence of a similar facility across 12 major air bases and forward operating bases of the Pakistan Air Force. The map in front of you shows the location and gives the name of these air bases and the forward operating bases. Now, let me add one more angle to this. The work on these facilities across all the major Pakistan Air Force bases can be broadly divided into three time slots. The first slot consists of air bases where work was started after 2000 and most of it was completed in 2005, with the exception of Masroor because it is one of the bigger underground sites compared to the other locations. The next round of work started in mid 2000 and was completed by the end of the decade. This is when the underground facility at Pakistan Air Force Base Murid came into being. And finally, we have the third round of development, which was focused on large forward operating bases and the main base in the east, Pakistan Air Force Base Samungli. The design of the first wave of construction of underground facilities is slightly different from the later designs. Let's take the example of the underground facility at Pakistan Air Force Base Mushaf at Sargodha, the fighter central of the Pakistan Air Force. The overall layout is similar to what we saw earlier in case of Pakistan Air Force Base Murid, but there is a small difference. You have the first hardened underground access point with entry towards the front. The second underground access point has two entrances, one side entrance and one entrance towards the front. We see similar arrangement in case of Pakistan Air Force Base Minhas and Pakistan Air Force Base Rafiki. we start witnessing slight change in design from next round of development covering Pakistan Air Force Base Murid, Miawali and forward operating bases Risalewala and Nawab Shah. Here you see only one lateral entry in the second and the larger underground access point. Now, let's come to the million dollar question. What lies beneath Pakistan Air Force Base Murid, which was hit by the Indian Air Force on 10th May? The answer to this question lies in studying the historic satellite images of the Pakistan Air Force bases where similar underground facilities exist. The ideal scenario would have been to study the historic satellite images of Pakistan Air Force Base Murid itself. However, there are no historic satellite images which show the development of an underground facility at Pakistan Air Force Base Murid. After a satellite image from August 2001, the first image that we get for the Pakistan Air Force Base Murid is from April 2010 and it shows a ready and operational site. There are no satellite images of the intervening period which can tell us about the nature of development. So instead, we use Pakistan Air Force Base Minhas at Kamra as our first case study to find out the nature of the underground facility. The underground facility in this base came up in the first wave of construction of such facilities. The site was most likely developed in 2003 to 2007 timeframe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what lies below the ground at various Pakistan Air Force bases across the country. As you can see, this is an elaborate underground facility with what seems like rooms or chambers lying at considerable depth. This satellite image is from August 2004. It shows an underground facility in advanced stage of construction. Because of the nature of this image, it is difficult to figure out the depth of the facility. However, what we can figure out are the following aspects from the image. First, hardened underground access point with the front entry. Second, hardened access point with front and lateral entry. Underground access tunnel to the main facility. Multiple rooms or chambers under construction with roof yet to be put in place. Portion with roof already in place. The facility seems to be spread across an area of 2500 square meter of unknown depth, while one of the access shaft is about 135 feet long from the hardened access point. To better understand the layout, I have superimposed the satellite image of a completed facility over its satellite image when it was under construction. You can clearly make out the location of the two access points to the underground facility in the under construction facility. Now that we have broadly established the nature of the underground facility, let us take a detailed look at the whole construction process and its layout. For this, we look at the underground facility at Pakistan Air Force's forward operating base at Multan. I have chosen Multan because amongst all the air bases and forward operating bases, it has the best set of satellite images showing various stages of construction of the underground facility. The first satellite image of activity at Multan is from January 2013. Here we can see first level of digging has already been done and the second level of digging is in progress. Satellite image from 1 year later, that is February 2014, shows that excavation work has been completed. From this satellite image, we can get a rough estimate of the size of the facility. The overall area of the facility is about 11,500 square meters or about 2.85 acres. The area of the inner dugout, which forms the base of the underground facility, is about half of the total area and stands at 5,500 square meters or slightly more than an acre. The side walls are at an angle of 25° to 30° with step in between the first level and the second level. The depth of this excavation is approximately 23 to 25 meters, which makes it about 75 to 82 feet. By September 2016, We see the facility taking shape and the civil work in progress. You can make out the larger rooms or chambers with smaller rooms towards the rear in tandem manner. By March 2017, we see that the roof work on the underground facility has started. Internal perimeter wall between the excavation pit and the facility is being put in place to isolate it from the surrounding surface. We can also get a broad idea about the area of the actual facility. The actual underground facility is about 2600 to 2800 square meters in area. By August 2018, the roof work is almost complete. The side walls of the excavated space are also being covered with cement to provide more stability and protection to the facility. Three other features become apparent at this stage. You have the first entrance, then you have the second entrance, and the alignment of the underground air shaft which provides air to the facility. In May 2018, we are at a stage where the underground facility is fully covered, and all that we see at this stage are access points with lifts from surface to the underground facility. At this stage, you can see that the space above the facility has not been filled and compacted. The gap between the actual Earth's surface and roof of the underground facility allows us to have a broad estimate of the depth of the facility below the ground. From the satellite image, we can make an educated guess that the roof of the facility is at least 40 to 42 feet below the surface. By March 2019, the whole excavated area has been filled up and compacted. Only the work on hardening the entrance points is pending at this stage. Towards the end of 2019, the underground facility is completely ready with hardened underground access points. Now that we have discovered what lies below the surface, which was hit by the IAF at Pakistan Air Force Base at Murid, a question still remains: what is the use of this underground facility? My hypothesis is it is a mixed use facility. It is partly used for command and control function, and the other part is for storing air delivered nuclear weapons of the Pakistan Air Force. Let me explain how. For me, the clues lie in the design of the facility. First, we have smaller rooms which are suitable for accommodating manpower and washrooms. Then we have large rooms which can serve as command and control function and can host large displays and hold communication equipment. Between these two areas, we have the access through the smaller lift which is more suitable for manpower movement. The larger lift with sideways entrance provides access to vehicles to enter to deliver and retrieve sensitive goods under protected cover. This larger lift leads to a portion of the facility which most likely holds air delivered nuclear weapons. In the end, to summarize, the Indian Air Force most likely targeted a mixed use underground facility at the Pakistan Air Force Base in Murid. This facility is situated at a depth of approximately 39 to 40 feet beneath the surface. The outer layer is composed of compacted sand while the facility's roof is believed to be made of reinforced concrete. Although the construction covers an area of around 11,500 square meters, the actual facility itself spans only about 2,600 to 2,800 square meters, equivalent to roughly 29,000 to 30,000 square feet. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more such in-depth analysis. Thank you.